the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Nsem-Pii TV platform so Nsem-Pii eguso de nsem ne bremo. Atiefo me kae over the weekend any report to the mamu about Manase Azuri Awuni. Court summons be an hwende amana ne ensa inyanka no with respect to expose be our year regarding Ghana Revenue Authority GRA and the SML Group at the Strategic Mobilization Limited. Our Revenue Mobilization Company GRA and Omoko into agreement. President Akufo-Addo KPMG ahwehwe omonsimu is an consent be at the minority erezi here. Nona President Nana Addo and Nam Data Communications Eugene Ahen issue krata bi ebeto abontia odi etu dwa se nsama KPMG for ka kire no atena se din wahwe nkrata anim wahwe eniema ekoso no and he has caused GRA to review contractor Omanhene SML group way eno ena papa your friend say Bright Simmons tin sansim ya as usual Oman kra so epe se nka obe ride on populism na wakeka nsem bi e dia gu na dankwa mufin akosi essential so ena obi ene Omanhene Kwabena Santet na say ena Omanhene say obi enough is enough. Bright Simmons manani atranani nton come say abribi biano he finds something wrong with whatever this government does. Now no Omanhene Kwabena Santet nyadia obepene so ama sankomdidi akoso eni okay kan na adwene kire na adwene yepa ema ne bufuye ema opiefu studio so no mkra kese komdidi no wantimi anto asubio enko nkotie how heated the conversation was.
But one critical thing, and that's where I think the various civil society organizations are raising issues, and they are about the president made the claim as far as SML Jumomaye ever downstream is concerned. And that's in his point number 3. Omano say there is a clear need for the downstream petroleum audit services provided by SML. This is the president speaking. A clear need. SML bema or minus our service. No. And the president reason any. GRA and the state have benefited from these services since SML commenced providing them. There has been an increase in volumes of 1.7 billion liters and an increase in tax revenue to the state of 2.45 billion Ghana cedis.
That's SML.
SML started so we provide the service, no volumes increase, any tax increment no. In the as far as the president is concerned, no, the service is really needed. He goes on to say,
maybe as you
yeah.
So this data no available to be able to say increase in volumes now come as no.
Yeah, I should think say yeah, I should say KPMG it should be available for everybody to go and verify. Yeah. Or say KPMG also observed once a KPMG enya data, meaning that the data is there.
Availability na make was I don't want to buy.
Oh, say and then put the right information in your mind. And this is a PPP of a sort. Still the state is involved.
These questions for good reason.
Oh, of course, I agree. I get you. Or say KPMG also observed that there were qualitative benefits, including a 24/7 electronic real-time monitoring of outflow and partial monitoring of inflows of petroleum products at depots where SML had installed flow meters and 6 levels of reconciliation done by SML. This minimizes the occurrence of under-declarations. However, it is important to review the contract for downstream petroleum audit services, particularly the fee structure, as we said earlier. Yeah, the fee structure. Given the experience and proficiency of SML over the last 4 years of providing this service.
Did they just say that?
Yeah, where the president? This is the president speaking on. Where the president, after accepting the recommendations of KPMG and our directive,
given
the experience and proficiency of SML over the last 4 years of providing this service, the president has directed that the fee structure be changed from a variable to a fixed fee structure. Other provisions of the contract worth reviewing include clauses on intellectual property rights, termination and service delivery expectations. Expectations. That's what the president is directing them to do. But I had on a CS was a problem. If you read from people like Bright Simmons, any ASEP money are there. They are contesting the KPMG and the president's conclusions here. Say enam SML jumo mudi entinama omaino e make savings be na increase in volumes about almost no they doubt na so man penyin pa omiem na further auditing and koso omonfa other experts ma me auditing o me
so that's even they are doubting KPMG.
But no more we don't position what's
that? I just want to state on one side.
They've criticized it, no problem with it. But go if they have any other proof, what is here, they should just bring it.
They should go for
They were not mandated. Somebody was mandated. If you doubt the credibility or integrity of these people, go beyond this and bring otherwise. In this country,
they are calling for another.
Oh, please. Sometimes we are for lack of yes. So we don't believe ourselves.
Asempa FM.
How do you even arrive at such conclusions? In any case, Obi auditing and also auditing. You are subject to small negligible
and KPMG credibility is so much.
I'm saying it's not even about that because we also know giant auditors along the line. Some of them know are compromising with the business that they've done. They are criticizing it, but who will counter if you think that you can go through the same process way, whoever financed this whole auditing is a Ghana buyer, who that authority to get results otherwise. Go through the processes and let's open it up for you and do it. Not because we find this in here because we will find this at the buy. Who said Dan Crocker said, data before this?
Yes,
the data you got from GRA or whatever showed that. Before and after, and
I even said that data verify.
Yes,
then we'll go
auditing anywhere. Yeah, he was holding it. Okay, or become before and after. Unfortunately, President Dakase, you hold on till investigation. Let's also build a country with transparency and certain levels of trust.
And maybe to be fair to listeners, no more the two sides. This is what Bright Simmons posted. Or say comment on to the press on KPMG report re-SML contract. It is helpful that the President of Ghana accepts that infractions occurred in the award of the SML contract and that substantial work must be done to determine the country's needs before the award of any such contract for revenue assurance. We also accept, but only in principle, that a fixed fee makes more sense in a contract like this. However, we insist on seeing the full KPMG report. We dispute their claim that any increase in petroleum consumption should be attributed to SML. We demand an open forum to show that the weight of expert opinion in Ghana is against any such claim. Multiple petroleum economists are on standby to prove that no gains in consumption volume can be attributed to SML. We also have tax specialists on standby to prove that no tax gains due to SML's work occurred. The needs assessment mentioned by the president must be concluded before SML or any other company receives a peso more of Ghana's money. We have lined up a long line of specialists willing to support a value for money and needs assessment pro bono. We are challenging the president to accept this patriotic offer. Not one peso more of Ghana's money should go to SML or any company until such an open, transparent, rigorous, and meritocratic process has been done. Where Bright Simmons. But I think
meritocracy, no. One of the measurement, the meritocracy. On no call for standing by.
That's where
please.
Interesting.
Let's not do this to ourselves. Because but if he is mandated to go and look out for something, or not out there, and only the best. Why do you put people integrity on small this thing like that? How can you do that? How can you do that? You think that you merit what? A better superior investigation beyond what KPMG is doing? Now only nipa. Who don't confirm nipa now can naba? They are not subjects that can be compromised. Let's give ourselves certain levels of respect. If you have doubts, please bring anything contrary to what has been done here. Bring it out.
But how about Omonswa call it
meritocracy?
To clear all doubt, maybe the presidency should release the entire KPMG report.
Say the governance is here, no. Sa pepe ni beti ma subscribe to. anything outside one.
Entire
So
report,
percent.
request for
If it
it.
is
Request for it.
governance, report about if you're on your convinced with the year banner. You don't do sometimes you see Gobi or my emotion. Meaning election time about if you share Nimone, Buapayo, Nsem Nyoma Bebre, etc. Nyoma. Well, big deal. KPMG International Repute Akoya Diaba. Uber so by what you have said, I infer to mean that the whole thing you don't believe Foko. We won't call for now one more standby movement. A better job. Why? I'm free. Angels above the sea, man.
Ekosi says we have some 90 news. Good news.
So SML. And the parliamentary programs in our report in Mizakai. So I couldn't really say. And I'm talking can we still.
And I think what's important really will be the recommendations. But Nana will be a petty. And based on the SML recommendations, what the president also said into whether he accepted the recommendations or not. All of them are contained. And we will start with the recommendations. KPMG made the following recommendations. A, the government acting through the Ministry of Finance and GRA may, and take cognizance of the word may terminate the contract with or without cause upon giving 120 days written notice before the effective date of termination stated in the termination notice. Upon termination, the government may be liable to pay SML for services already completed but not yet paid, and the government will not be entitled to a refund of any compensation already paid to SML, regardless of the termination cause.
The government may not what refund.
Or say, government may be liable to pay SML for services already completed but not yet paid, and government will not be entitled to a refund of any compensation already paid to SML, regardless of the termination clause, I think. B, in the event of termination without cause, the government becomes liable to pay SML a return on investment equivalent to the fair value of SML's investment in the respective contract. The total investment value in the contract for the transaction audit and external price verification services and downstream petroleum audit services amounts to $44 million USD. The total investment value in the contract for the upstream petroleum audit and minerals audit services amounts to $133 million. The total investment value for all the services provided by SML to GRA amounts to $177.530 million. KPMG noted that SML did not provide supporting document or relevant information to verify the investment it has made. GRA must verify the investment, if any, of the services provided under the contracts. Under the contracts are, and that's, it should be before, but say under the contracts are terminated. That I think is a typo, obviously. The upstream petroleum and minerals audit could be a major source of revenue for the state. And if there are leakages, the impact could be significant. Therefore, KPMG recommended reviewing these services by conducting a comprehensive needs assessment and engaging stakeholders with diverse interests in the respective sectors. Furthermore, KPMG recommended the need for a value for money assessment in the contract performance process. Any contract for the provision of these services should comply with Section 13 of the Public Financial Management Act. D, for the transaction audit, external price verification and downstream petroleum audit services, KPMG recommended that since SML has been providing that service for over 4 years, it has gained experience and become more proficient. KPMG thus recommended renegotiating the price levels, including shifting from a variable to a fixed fee structure. E, monitoring and evaluation of the services offered by SML should be done periodically in the contract. Also, there should be the incorporation of needs assessment into public procurement practice. Into any recommendation at KPMG at the MIT, essentially, was a two separate contract. Back where downstream, they are no more that for about 4 years. And about consider a contract and half in execute, which is the upstream one, any mining, and no one shares here. In the recommendation, each more upstream, the no one shares any day. A buy power bit my then at terminate. Na se also mutua bi ma SML omotua na downstream the end because SML eye dada no omoma omonto aso nye ba omon vary sika yetuama SML, like in the contract momu sika omunya no a variable into adwuma obeye. If you do more, you are paid more. Almost won't change and fixed. In the way adwuma my sky afa say my we are. I question my for adwuma bosom so is car me dey man fixed.
Oh yeah,
no money on the fixed. Those were the KPMG recommendations. And the president has accepted the recommendations of KPMG and direct as follows. 1. The upstream petroleum audit and minerals audit services have not yet been commenced. Yes. And no payments have been made in respect of those services. Therefore, they may be terminated.
Still may.
Yes. So in pursuant to KPMG, they may be terminated. However, given that the upstream petroleum audit and minerals audit services could prevent significant revenue leakages, the president has directed that the ministry and GRA conduct a comprehensive technical needs assessment, value for money assessment, and stakeholder engagement before implementing such services. They may terminate the contract. Now, in federance, no, any more stakeholder engagement. If they want to still give that service out, then they can give it out.
Real deal here that SML still continues with the down while the
upstream. Yeah, downstream there. When you read the document in totality, that's a downstream. They're no more than there. They should continue, but renegotiate
any
payment
any breaches,
terms. No,
if you have any breaches by what you just read out.
No, I think the only way would be say SML investment and almost your my year in a juma more year. Yes, a KPMG say Omanhene and verify with receipt and just okay, aye, and almost they should go ahead and do that.
Nsem-Pii TV near